So what's up, everybody? This is CMDS Legend 754. Many of you, know me from CMD, Crime Mob, Defamiliate, the Battlefield 3 clan, turn Battlefield 4 clan, turn PS4 multi-platform, console-based, competitive team. Our following, or I guess you could say, our footprint is not as large on Xbox by any stretch of the imagination as it is on PlayStation. But we do have a few players that will, engage in Xbox every once in a while. At any rate, I know a lot of you guys are kind of wondering what's been going on. Why haven't we been posting things as often as we used to? Why haven't you guys been seeing into the clan wars like we have been promising? Coming into 2015. Well, there are a few reasons. First and foremost, Battlefield 4. Now, Battlefield 4, as you all know, had a horrible launch. It was plagued with issues, plagued with glitching. It was plagued with all kinds of just things that made the game undesirable, so to speak. So what is that? Where has that put CMD? Well, we tried to set our roots in Grand Theft Auto 5, but Grand Theft Auto 5 does not really lend itself all that well to a clan-based strategy type game because it's a very shoot 'em up type platform. It doesn't really lend itself to competitive strategy. Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain was also a game we are going to try and get into, which just came out here in early September. But obviously, not everybody's into that genre of game, so to speak. First-person shooters is usually a genre that's going to carry a lot of players because a lot of players tend to like that genre coming from other genres as well. So we have a much more likely chance to find players who fall in the FPS shooter competitively versus tactical espionage strategy type games, and from a competitive standpoint. Now, don't get me wrong. That's not to say that Metal Gear Solid cannot be a great platform for us to stretch our wings. I am not saying that. I'm simply saying that a lot of our players don't really like that style of play, so to speak, especially third person. But anyway, where does that put us? Well, our leader, CMD Killer Crossover, as many of you know him, or just Killer for short, has been going through some issues. We all have been going through issues, to be honest with you. I myself, I'll be very honest with you. I can't be honest for everyone because obviously that's their personal information. But I myself, you can kind of say had to go through some issues with our tenure at a residence we were living at. We actually had to move out on very, very short notice because the landlord didn't want to renew the lease. And they came to this conclusion 2 weeks outside of our lease being complete for the year. So for the better part of 4 months, I was staying with my grandma. And I know a lot of you guys are saying, okay, you stay with your grandma, big whoop. Well, I stay in South Florida. And in South Florida during the summer months between May and July, heat is at an all-time high. My grandma does not have centralized air conditioning. So the last thing that I plan to do is open up a window and sit in front of a PlayStation that gives off heat, as well as a 50-inch TV screen that will give off heat, inside of a room with one window and play for 4 or 5 hours on end on a console in a house with no centralized AC. It's not going to happen. So I actually went back to playing Clash of Kings with a lot of CMD players for that reason alone, for those summer months. It wasn't ideal, but it was a way to keep up our camaraderie, keep up our communication, and most importantly, keep up our tabs on one another. So that's a little bit about me. CMD Killer, as many of you may know him, went through some issues with, personal life. He lost a few relatives in a relatively short span of time. So we gave him, we didn't give him anything, but we wanted him to take some time off, to just, have some time to take all that in. Having to see somebody go through so much and so little is not an ideal situation, especially when you lean on that person so much to lead. And that's one of the great things that he does. He leads very well. He can rally us in no time at all, and that's where a lot of our strength comes from, just from pulling on the energy that he brings to the table when he is available. So in order to have that with us 24/7, we wanted him to take as much time as he needed to deal with those issues he was having with family, with anything that may have come his way. CMDX Blue Devil and Trill, as many of you may know, those two guys are actually brothers. CMDX Blue Devil recently got a job. Not to say that the guy never did work. He did work before, but he got a job that requires him to be away from home a lot more often than not. And, with that whole situation, we've had to quote unquote, deal with it, because obviously Blue Devil is a major piece to the puzzle here in CMD, and having to see him gone for such extended periods of time does not make it for a very fun adventure here anymore as often as we would like it to. We all miss his hell-raising attitude when it came to people doing stupid stuff. CMDX Trill Savage, if many of you may know him, very, very lovable guy. He's been online. He's been online a lot. He's been the guy that's been kind of going back and forth to different games and things like that, trying to rally the team up on Battlefield, and it's been a failure because it just doesn't. We don't feature the same leadership we had before, and that's not to say he didn't put his best foot forward, because believe me, Trill did put his best foot forward. Everyone has put their best foot forward in trying to maintain CMD's footprint on Battlefield. But we do have a lot of guys who feel like a centralized location of power, i.e. kill, is the only way to go. And that's something that we just have to contend with. Now, is it ideal? Of course not. But that just shows how strong the bond is we have to the guy who's in control when it comes to CMD. And, of course, we have CMDX Tannis, Mike, another great guy who's doing a lot to keep CMD afloat. He actually runs and or ran the PS4 division for a long time. And he's been doing a tremendous job at it. You can find him online just about every single day. He's been doing it in my absence. He's been doing it in everyone's absence. And he's been doing a fantastic job. If you're looking to join CMD, that's definitely the guy you want to go to. He's been holding it down for CMD for quite some time now. And I don't think we can express enough appreciation to really show him how appreciative we are of him holding the clan down like he's been doing for this extended period here. We have CMDX Econevo, or Evo, or Econevo, or Econevo, however you want to say, Econevo. He's been going through some issues with academics. He's recently just stepped away from the game to deal with his situation with school, to get his degree. He made a promise with himself that he was not going to play the game as often as he did, because he felt like the game was getting in the way of his schooling. So he recently just took a relaxed position on, playing the PS4 altogether. He did not leave the clan, because the only way out of the clan is in a box. I mean, we really do believe that. But he did take some time off nonetheless. And I'm going to ask that you guys please excuse the horrible camera here. I'm just, recording some outside video footage of the apartment I stay in, and just trying to get everybody a refresher on what's going on with CMD. This is not really designed to be anything other than an update on CMD. I wish I could have edited in some fancy clips of Battlefield or something like that. But the frank truth and honesty here is that my television and my PlayStation 4 both got caught in a lightning storm in late September, and they both were fried. I'm waiting on renter's insurance to come through so that I can have both of those items replaced going into the near future. Because obviously the next thing that I'm trying to get a hold of is Star Wars Battlefront. Yes, I'm not a big fan of Star Wars, but since the entire clan seems to be leaning toward it, I will be joining the fray as well, of course. And my most anticipated for 2015, which is Rainbow Six Siege, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, enough about me. Going to the next guy, we have Panthers Nation. Panthers Nation, another tremendous player, as any of you have known. If you have ever encountered him on our side of the map, while you're on the other side, it is not a fun feeling. He's one of the quickest guns we have in the clan, and he does put bodies on the ground and puts points on the board. Panthers has been doing a tremendous job. He is a father as well. He has children of his own, and he's been trying to navigate being a full-time father, a full-time provider, and a full-time gamer. And he's been trying to navigate that as best as he can. So Panthers, just want to extend a warm thank you for that on behalf of CMD. We do appreciate everything you do when you are able to do it. And that goes for everyone. So, no one feel left out. You know what I'm saying? I just know that we all have a life to contend with. And, some of us, have a lot more on our plate than others. And I know being a full-time father, not to say that he gets a freebie or he gets some sort of a pass as if that's not his job, but just being a full-time father can definitely take a toll on the psyche, if you will. But if I had to say, I would say that Panthers is in love with being a father to his beautiful children, because there is not a day we do play the game that you don't hear one of them in the background, if not all of them. We love you, Panthers. And then after that, we have CMD Cash, who was just recently promoted to leadership in CMD not too long ago. Cash, as you all know, is another guy that is a drop shotter. He puts people on the ground. He puts dicks in the dirt, as one of our former players used to always say. Cash has been making the rounds. He's really been showing himself to be a real supporter of CMD. And this has been something that's been burgeoning. It's been in the making for quite some time. We got a hold of Cash maybe 2 years ago now. And ever since the day we got the opportunity to get Cash folded into the unit, brought up to speed, Cash has been constantly trying to improve himself, constantly trying to make himself a leader within the division. And I'll be damned if I'm not convinced. You know, the guy's well deserving of the position that he's been granted, and we hope to continue to do things with him going into the future. He will also be on Star Wars Battlefront. Everyone, for that matter, will be on Star Wars Battlefront. I do know a few of us will try and merge over into the tactical first-person shooter that is Rainbow Six Siege. I don't know exactly how many there will be. I haven't did a head count since the last time I was on PlayStation Network. But at some point in the future, we will be rolling out into new territory, and we will be getting back on our feet to become the clan that you all know us as being. So we just ask that you guys continue to bear with us. 2015 has not been the year that we've wanted. Please believe that. This has not been a great year at all. It's been a very dry season, but 2016 is a turnaround. As I'm pretty sure many of you already may know, the division comes out next year. We're looking forward to that as well. I'm salivating from the mouth at the division. I'm hoping that Ubisoft can get it correct. Ubisoft had a horrible year in 2014. I haven't really seen much of their IPOs, initial public offerings, of 2015 yet. That'll be Rainbow Six. Obviously, it's not a new title, but it's a new offering on the PlayStation 4, no less. So we're just waiting to see what happens in 2015, late 2015, as we continue to bottom out the year here, and going into 2016, looking at some of those new offerings by PlayStation. So we just ask that you stay tuned. You know, maintain your subscriptions. I'm gonna try to do some updated videos like this every once in a while, maybe every other week or so, just to fill you guys in, so you know what's going on with CMD and where we're trying to go, what roadblocks we're encountering, and what are we trying to build with the clan. Of course, if any of you know me, if any of you had the opportunity to join the clan, I am the mouth from the south, CMDS Legend 754. Feel free to message either one of those guys that I've outlined before. You can even message me. I do have access to the PlayStation Network application from my Android device, but I'm not the guy you want to contact right now just because I'm all over the place. You definitely want to contact Tannis Mike. You're definitely going to want to contact Trill Savage, Blue Devil. You're definitely going to want to contact Cash 15224. And if I'm saying that wrong, I'm sure he'll watch the video and notate it in the on the page somewhere. Obviously, I'm doing this from a phone, so I can't annotate much. But just be on the lookout, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming back. I can assure you that we're gonna pull CMD back together. We're gonna dig ourselves up out of that dirt, come up out of the trance, and we're coming back. And when we come back in 2015, when we come back in 2016, we will not shy away from bringing home what we set out to bring home in 2012, 2013, which was a title from some game. We're going to get it, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to believe us. You just got to sit back and watch. At any rate, this is CMD. Of course, this is Legendary 754, CMDS Legend 754. Just with a brief update, we love all our supporters. We love all our fans. We love everyone who gets on and comments and says negative about us, who says positive about us, who wants to join us, who never wants to see us alive. We love each and every last one of you, respectively and equally. Till next time, death before dishonor. Have a great day.